This week's parsha is the Godfather Part II to last week's stunning debut, a sequel that somehow manages to transcend even the great and action-packed original. And, at its core, is one haunting question: what was so wrong with the world that God, having just completed his creation, felt he needed to start anew? Humanity's evils, the parsha tells us, come down to one bone-chilling word, a word that us contemporaries have come to know all too well: Hamas. It's not just the name of a murderous terrorist organization. It is also, the wise rabbis of the Talmud explain, an ancient Hebrew word for all that is rotten and corrupt about humanity, from injustice to bloodshed. To wipe the slate clean, God gives Noah the famous commandment: make for yourself an ark. But God was not only commanding Noah, explains the 20th century Hassidic master Rav Shalom Noach Barazovsky. He was talking to each and every single one of us. This parsha, Barazovsky wrote, belongs to all generations. Even when the storm rages all around us, and everything seems grim, there's an ark right there to save us. When we feel down and lowly, the words of the parsha ring true: make for yourself an ark. That's a lovely and inspiring idea. Every generation, it is up to us to build the vessels that save us all from doom. And yet, us, brazen moderns, may be forgiven for asking why an ark was necessary. Isn't a very large boat made out of gopher wood a bit, dramatic? Rashi explains, Noah, he writes, was commanded to build such a large vessel in order that the people of the generation of the flood should see him occupying himself with it for 120 years and ask him, "For what do you need this?" And he would say to them, "The Holy One, blessed be he, is destined to bring a flood upon the world." Perhaps they would repent. The ark, in other words, was one part civilizational life raft, one part ad, designed to convince all of Noah's friends and neighbors that they, too, better check themselves before they wreck themselves. Which, no surprises there, led the medieval Rabbi Ramban to ask another, rather obvious question: if the point was to convince people to repent, why did the ark need to be so big? After all, he explained, it's obvious that no human construct could have actually been big enough to contain two of each species of animal, plus food for a year. God must have intervened and performed some miracle. So why not make the ark tiny? Wouldn't it have been cooler had God made it clear that this ship was magic, much larger on the inside than the outside suggests? It was made large, though by means of a divine miracle, Ramban explains, because such is the way with all of the miracles in the Torah, or in the books of the prophets: man must do what he must, and the rest is up to heaven. In other words, a small ark would have been a major miracle, sending the message that when disaster loomed, all we had to do was sit tight and wait for God's mercy to manifest in some otherworldly, mind-blowing way. The lesson of this week's parsha is just the opposite. In every generation, it is up to us to save ourselves, and only if we do our best, work hard, build the biggest and best construct we can imagine, and urge everyone else to join in on the life-saving work, can we be sure that God will join in and do the rest.